Hey, how's it going, Ilion?
Yo, pretty good. Just sitting here watching Good Boys and Bad Movies, our podcast, in case you're new.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I was cybering some guy online. Uh,
Oh, mm-hmm.
he was sending me some emails, but they're kind of weird. Here, let me read some of
Sure.
these.
Yeah,
I can't quite figure it out.
I,
Maybe you can
I'll
help.
help you with your sexting. I'm really good at it.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah,
Okay.
I really need help with my sexting.
hmm
So, okay. Why did the doctor prescribe me a hyena? I don't. What does that mean?
Oh, I know this one. It's a particular fetish in furry forums. Because laughter is the best medicine.
Oh, that's real sexy. So,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what this one means though. What happened to the beans when they showed up late to work?
Oh, some people are really into this. They like so they got canned. So cans. It's a sex.
Oh, okay.
And beans are well. I mean, you know what beans are.
Okay, but this last one's a little I'm starting to think this isn't a sex thing, which is
Oh,
confusing me. Um,
huh.
why didn't the lion eat the clown?
Oh, right. This isn't a sex thing. I read this in the Big Book of Riddles. It's he tasted funny.
Fuck.
Are
All
you
right, yeah.
dating the puzzler?
Fuck. No, yeah. I think I got a puzzler problem.
Oh
Shit.
no. Oh shit. You mixed up your sexts and your puzzlers. Oh no. Oh boy. This is a classic mistake. I thought this was a sexy thing. You don't want to mix puzzling and sex.
Damn it. All right. Well, I gotta let him off easy, I guess. Not interested.
I said well, okay. I said it's not a sex thing. You can't don't do anything to get him off. Boys.
Welcome. Welcome to Rough Cuts.
Welcome to Rough Cuts. You're joking trying to say.
I'm dying.
Dogs, they're coming. They're coming your way. They'll be here soon.
Hi, I'm Ilyan. This is my wonderful co-host, the Boix. You are listening to our podcast about good boys and bad movies. Uh, we watched Scent of Murder, right? Is
Scent
that
of
what this is
Murder,
called?
2002, an Animal Planet original.
Scent of Murder, a Law and Order Special Dog Victims Unit holiday special TV
Yes.
movie.
I don't know what holiday it was, but it was a special for sure. Yeah.
I'd try and make a joke about a holiday, but it'll all come out really bad because the context of this film is we're gonna make a lot of jokes, but also it is about somebody who kidnaps children and puts them into
Correct.
and puts them into
Yeah.
jigsaw style death traps, but like the laziest
Thanks, Animal
jigsaw ever.
Planet. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck, Animal Planet?
All right, so what do you get when here I have a puzzler for you.
Yeah.
So what do you get when you mix Jigsaw, the Riddler, Speed, and Law and Order Special Victims Unit with Lassie?
Scent of Murder.
That's right, it's Scent of Murder.
Murder.
Yay, murder!
Ah, man,
I
this
this movie is
this movie,
amazing.
this movie, it doesn't. Okay, so this movie used to be on Amazon Prime, which is how I learned of
Uh-huh.
it.
Uh-huh.
And it's been sitting in the list for like 2 years of the 3 years running time of this podcast.
A tragedy, as we've learned,
And,
because I
and they
this is
removed it from
perfect.
Amazon Prime by the time we got to it.
Uh-huh.
So the only way we could watch it
was
'Cause
the
it
best way
exi-
that we could watch it,
it
as it turns
exists
out.
in one place on the internet currently,
Mhm.
which is a YouTube video of a VHS rip that has Portuguese subs, I believe.
I don't know. That's not Portuguese. That's
What I
like
don't.
I would say Balkan language, like
Okay, sure.
Croatian or like Serbian or something like that. It's definitely not Portuguese.
This
It's
is bottom of the barrel,
I don't think
as far down as we could go to find this thing.
it's so good. There was it got me into the exact right mindset that I needed for this. I love too that about like 5 minutes into this film, I went, wait, is this Speed but with search and rescue dogs? And I was
Yeah,
mostly right. I just didn't realize there was also so many other influences. Because it
yeah.
has the Speed opening. So like in the beginning of Speed, they start out with like the cops already chasing like the big bad guig, and then he
Mhm.
gets away and shows his criminal master plans.
He's a
And that's
genius.
exactly what happens here, but in a very, you know how Speed's really fucking stupid?
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, crank that dial up because it's not stupid enough yet. Because our search and rescue heroine,
Brenna.
Brent,
I know
okay,
her.
wow,
I know
I'm
her
glad
name.
for
It's Brenna.
good for you. I certainly did not. I didn't care, but
Also known as Laura Croft in a Walmart welcome vest.
yes. Oh my god. Her
Yeah.
outfit is incredible. But there's a man who kidnaps a child
Mhm.
and breaks into a house, kidnaps a child. She gets called in as search and rescue, but then the FBI are there. She goes inside of the house and immediately starts pawing through the crime
Just
scene,
touching
literally with her
everything.
dog.
Everything.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah, because okay, so she's search and rescue. She's introduced to the cops and the FBI outside of the house
Yes.
for the abduction case.
The cops
And
seem to know her, but the FBI seem pissed.
yeah, so they're explaining like, oh, you're search and rescue? Yeah. Volunteer? Yeah. No jurisdiction here, shouldn't be here at all? Yeah. Go on in.
All right, yeah. And then she walks into a room and they go, that room isn't secured yet. You can't be in there, which means they haven't done any forensics in there. So they need you to not contaminate the scene. And she goes, no, that's okay. I'm just getting the scent, and lets the dog loose. And the dog just paws through the fucking crime scene
Because the
and
dog like jumps on the bed, pulls down the sheets, like
and finds a
tracks
note.
everywhere.
Yeah, the dog finds a note that's from the Puzzler, our
Get the puzzler.
discount Hannibal Lecter / Speedman. I can't remember the name of that villain / Riddler person. Gideon is
Where
his
do
name.
buddies like
ultimately.
to eat, Clarice? I hop.
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck? If a woodchuck
If a
could chuck
woodchuck
wood,
could chuck wood.
that's the sound of the woodchuck. That's the woodchuck sound, Clarice.
It's like
They go,
every
But-
note he leaves is he's just opening up this fucking book that I have and knock knock, motherfucker.
to give you an idea as to how
What?
bad these puzzles are, his last puzzle is we have one final bridge to cross, which means that the bridge that's 5 minutes from the house is where he hid the person.
It's the bridge.
It's
That's
just
all
the
he's
bridge.
got.
It's just the bridge. Like it's the bridge that's right there, like that you can see from the house. You just go to the
Sure
bridge. Anyway, so she paws through the crime scene. Immediately the FBI lady goes, "What the fuck are you doing?" and yells at her. And the search and
Contaminating
rescue
all the
lady,
evidence.
yes,
Yeah.
and the search and rescue lady haughtily goes, "I found this. You're welcome." And it's, we didn't look in that room yet. That's what it means when it's unsecured. We'd have found it. It's not that you, like, it's literally on the middle of the bed. It's not that
Yep.
they wouldn't fucking find this. It's that she fucking pawed through it and now it's contaminated and unusable as evidence. And
Why don't we just scan it for fingerprints and DNA? Lady, you and your dog were all
Can't
over
now.
that fucking
Yep.
message. What are you doing?
And now.
Yeah. So
So-
then They kick her out of the house, rightfully.
Yeah.
And then she, in a haughty mess, goes, is it okay if I take my dog for a walkie at least? God.
And the cops go, no, leave the crime scene, but walk away because they're busy. So she goes, well, I might as well.
I might as well go in the woods. It's free to shoot in the woods. So,
Well, also, this is all still crime scene. So she's just
The whole
contaminating more crime scene.
yeah, now she's contaminating the trails leading out of the
Yeah.
house, which could have had footprints.
Oh, yeah. No, she's contaminating everything. It rules.
Yeah. So, like, she's just taking her dog for a walk, a good old walkie, all through the woods. And then the dog who got the scent from a sock that was inside the kid's bedroom starts, like, going wild and just following the scent. And there he is. It's the puzzler with the kid just standing on top of a bridge over a creek, being like, oh, I see you found me. I didn't expect there to be a dog.
Look, you can't get away!
I didn't count on an animal.
I didn't expect animals.
If I knew that, I would have wrote a dog puzzle for you.
I
looks like it's gonna
I
be
haven't boned up on my
Yeah.
boned up on my dog puzzles yet.
looks like this is gonna be rough for both of us, Britta. Like, god damn it, puzzler.
Well, you were barking up the right tree.
Yeah, and then he's like, are you gonna go after me with your dog lady who's probably a cop who I haven't met before? Or
But not
this-
actually a dog. I know that you're search and rescue. Like, he knows everything about
Yeah,
her
he
immediately.
knows everything. But or are you
No.
gonna go after this child I'm going to throw into the creek? Good luck.
What doesn't float and weighs about 50 pounds and is in my arms? Oh, this child. Ha ha ha! Throws her in the river.
You'll
And-
never figure out that puzzle. then he
Then
fucking just like books it.
Yeah,
Like,
they just runs, I guess. I don't know.
what?
And she leaves him alone to chase after the kid, gets her dog to go in the water.
Yeah, she does nothing. Makes
yeah.
the dog do all the work.
Well, she whistles a lot. She pulls out a big whistle and just
Yeah.
blows on it a ton as she screams at the dog. She backseats the hell out of this dog rescuing the kid. It's really good. The dog's like swimming after the child, and she's like, "Swim, swim faster! No, not that left, not right. No, not left. Swim faster
Yeah.
though. No, but go faster. Swim, whistle. It can't get it instantly. Leave the dog alone."
Yep. So, but the dog eventually. Does the dog save the kid? Because the kid technically
Yeah.
just floats down the river and she catches the kid. The dog didn't do anything,
well,
really.
The kid's kind of like going under in a way, and the dog helps the kid stay
Lifting her up,
afloat.
But yeah, she eventually gets the kid before a small drop of a waterfall. And I mean like 2
We're-
feet. Like max.
That boys. It was not 2 feet.
It was
It was
so,
like a foot and
not
a
a
half
dangerous
at most.
fall. Not a
No.
dangerous fall.
No.
And then the dog like goes past them because the kid dropped her teddy bear. So
And
the
like,
dog
oh my
goes
god,
in-
the dog went over the falls.
yeah, the dog goes after it over the falls. Oh no! And then all the
She's
humans,
still in the water.
all the humans in the cop shop is like, oh, where's Bree? Bree's the dog.
Mhm.
I don't know. She was in the water and now she's not here. Oh god!
She went over the falls.
Yeah, I hope she made it.
Mhm.
And then Bree just shows up.
Totally
fine.
dry. This is the
Totally
best part.
dry.
Bone dry. This
Yeah,
dog
like-
comes out of the water totally
Yeah,
dry.
with a
holding the
dry teddy
bunny.
bear. Be like,
Yeah.
hey, I got this teddy bear. I did it.
Yep.
Great. Okay, so
God.
our hero has
Mhm.
seen the criminal, talked
Yes.
to the criminal,
Yes.
knows his height, possible age,
N-
at least like facial features.
No,
Let's just get a sketch artist.
No.
and-
no, she doesn't. But she doesn't know any of that because they ask
but
her.
she
They're
had
like,
an
"What do you
extended
remember?
conversation
What do
with
you
him."
remember about?" I know, but they're like, "What do you remember about him?" And she goes, "He was white And they're like, okay, anything else? I don't know. He was average height. Okay, anything else? She's like,
She's like the
no.
least helpful witness ever.
Like, it's pretty amazing. You think that I'm making that up, but like that they keep on asking, like, do you remember anything else about him? She's like, he was a white, average, tall guy.
Look,
Did he have, like, anything
he had
about him?
no
No.
descriptive features. You don't understand.
None.
He was the most bland white man I've ever seen.
To be fair, they picked the blandest white guy I've ever seen to be this killer. So
And he's
that's-
a gamer. So
as it turns out, well,
as we find out later,
that whole I still don't understand what the fuck was going on with that. You'll have to explain that to me later, because honestly, maybe it was daylight savings today and I'm tired, but that went right over my head because it felt like that went nowhere.
I don't know why he's a gamer, but he's a gamer, and it's important, probably.
Well,
I
you
don't
can
know.
tell that he's a gamer because he's been writing King's Quest puzzles for them to solve the whole time.
Yeah, it's like he opens up the Sierra hint book every time he sends an email. Like, what the fuck? Now, throw the pie at the Yeti. Oh, just like in King's Quest.
God. So,
What?
anyway, the
Yeah.
FBI is angry at her because she didn't fucking vacate the crime scene like she was supposed to, and instead rescued this child and did their job for them, which is very frustrating.
Because it makes them look bad. To which the FBI agent says, "Oh, there's no way to make me look worse than I make myself look."
Yes. So then she goes back to her job, which is with the
An office. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Well, okay, it's a house. It's a house, boys. The office that the one lady has as a receptionist is literally in the kitchen.
It's
she's
just,
just in the
table
kitchen.
facing a
It's-
wall, but you can
it's a
tell
cha-
it's the kitchen when they walk in. But they try to
have
keep it
this,
off,
like,
off screen
fridge
a
in the
little bit.
corner a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
But
And it's
she
like,
well,
her-
just a
her
minute. The
boss
other
is-
thing though is
yeah.
her boss is the this guy that was at the crime scene with her. That's like
Mhm.
they're like, oh, like, and who are you? And he's like, oh, private detective. And they're like, well, what are you doing here? And he's like, well, I don't have my license on me. Like, wait, what? Like, why is he on the
Why
crime
are
scene
you
then?
here?
But-
Because
I don't know. I showed up. And then the other thing though is, okay, they asked her search and rescue, and what did she say? Yes, volunteer, right? Like they talked
volunteer, correct.
about, like, and then she goes into
Which
her
means it's
work
unpaid.
office. Then she goes into her work office where she works under this private detective
investigator.
man,
Yeah.
as his hired search and rescue dog team.
Right, his office is in his living room, his secretary's in the kitchen, and he has a spiral staircase that goes upstairs to some unknown location that people are constantly walking down.
That's also not what private. It's not what volunteer means when you're hired by a
No, no.
private investigator as his personal search
The-
and rescue team, right?
Look, this movie
that-
is very stupid. Alright?
yes, it
It's
is.
very
It's
stupid.
Very stupid.
So at the office, though, the FBI lady is like, I don't know if I should tell you anything because you're not part of the case and you're not technically any part of law enforcement, and that would be giving away criminal investigation material to citizens. So anyway, this is what I found. So the note you found said 8 hours, best served cold. I don't know what that means. Well, that's a puzzle. That's a bit of a puzzler.
Could be anything. What do they say is best served cold? No one's ever heard of this. It's such a. Oh God, my brain, it hurts so
What a-
bad.
like a
Wait, my brain's
conundrum.
kind of cold. Is it a brain freeze? Maybe he wants Slurpees at the 7-Eleven. Slurpees are best served cold. That's what
Yeah.
they say.
Best served cold. Oh yeah, like a casserole.
Or a gazpacho soup. Maybe that's maybe he's a chef.
A nice bowl of borscht. Like, come on, man, come on. Right, but we find out that the kid who was abducted, her dad works for computer games.
'Cause he's a gamer.
He's a gamer who works for computer games, and that will never be relevant. Yep.
It won't be though. Is the thing. I didn't feel
No.
like it was.
And then that's where she's like, wait a minute, it's revenge. Revenge is best served cold. I'm a person who understands riddles from the newspaper.
And they go, whoa, wait, we should hire this lady on as a... And no, they don't actually
Yep.
yet.
Yep, they don't hire her. She's still not involved with this case, but she keeps inserting herself into it. Now, the whole time...
Yeah.
Okay, but the whole time, the criminal, the puzzler, is watching her through a window using his binoculars. But he's very clearly holding the binoculars backwards. So rather than zooming in like the camera is showing, it would be zoomed out very far away.
Well, I mean, he has specific fetishes that he likes. He likes very tiny people.
Which is it's so funny that he's holding it backwards. What the fuck?
But then he also starts sending her puzzlers at her work email.
He starts sending fetish puzzles to her.
Because the FBI is like, we're going to tell you all the details of the case. Also, you're not allowed to be involved in any of these cases because you're just a volunteer search and rescue person. Why am I telling you any of this shit? And so they do both at the same time. They both tell her to get involved and also tell her that she's not allowed to get involved.
Yeah, they do. They can't decide if they want her involved in the case or not.
To get her involved in the case and the plot of this, the puzzler sends her a bunch of messages, but they get filtered by the receptionist's spam filter in her email. And she goes, oh, this is a hot guy giving her cool advice. And
oh my God, this guy totally wants her. You should go send replies to him. I bet he's super hot. I'm not gonna reply to some fucking creepo that's emailing me. Oh, okay.
Okay,
I'll do it for you.
Well, the best part too. The best part about the puzzler emails back and forth is that they show it and it's like he sends them like feather in your hat, and she goes, "Ooh, this is sexy flirting. I know what I'll send back." She'll send bloodhound's gonna get you. She sends like
she'll send we'll never forget the crimes you've done.
Yes. She sends equally puzzling messages back as flirting things. This is the receptionist.
One of his emails he sent was like, do you think your dogs will remember? And that's when she's like, bloodhounds never forget. We'll always remember what you did, you fucking criminal.
Yeah.
and then he's like, oh, that's so hot.
Like, God. She starts sending him puzzlers back, and it's... She thinks that this is flirting, and she's like, "Oh, you should really go out with this guy. He's super into you." We've been sending each other Griddle.com answers all day.
So then she prints off all the dick pics he's been sending with his puzzles, and she's like, "Yo, I don't think this guy's actually into us. I think this is some weird, creepy shit."
Well, no, the receptionist doesn't do that. She gives them to her going, look at how hot this guy is. Look at, he knows all these puzzles. Okay. It's really cool.
Okay.
And like, then the search and rescue lady goes, what the fuck are you talking about?
What is this? Does everybody just get hot with puzzles in this fucking universe? Animal Planet.
As it turns out, yes.
Fuck. Yeah, but so she takes the printed dick pics and puzzles to the FBI, and they're like, Oh, wow. He's contacting you directly. That's scary and probably dangerous. You should respond to him.
Why don't you bait him some more?
Are you gonna
give me protection for doing that? Because he's probably stalking me?
No.
Why would we do what?
So then the FBI sits down with her at her computer. And she starts typing up an email, telling her what to type. She's like, oh, wow, I thought those dick pics were really hot, but I couldn't quite get that puzzle. Could you give me more puzzles? and then she hits send, waits 5 seconds, is like, no response yet. It hasn't even left the SMTP server yet, lady. Give it a minute. You're on dial-up. Fuck. Yep. The place where he brought the kid near that bridge had a shed. Which they call
we didn't go into
which I don't want to get into too much, but
okay,
but
they did call it.
Sorry, they did give the shed a nickname, which was Death Chamber.
His death chamber.
Death chamber, death chamber, death
Or
chamber.
death chamber, death chamber. They call it
And then
Zoe's
they
death
started,
chamber
like-
after the kid.
Yeah, it's like, man,
Which is
that's
my
a metal
new
last name.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say it's my new metal band. Is Zoe's death chamber.
And as they're talking about their new sick band that they're starting,
Mhm.
Brenna gets a call. She gets
I
a
don't-
call from the killer.
Oh
And-
yeah, okay.
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, hey, how's it going? Hey, how's it going, Brenna? Oh shit,
Is
it's
it
him.
you this time?
Fuck,
Yeah.
fuck. And as he's on the phone, she's like, "Hey, FBI, that's right over there. Get over here. He's talking to me." Into the
'Cause they're sitting
phone.
there like having Starbucks. Yeah, and she, oh god, she does it like
Yeah,
directly
right into
into the
the phone.
phone.
Right into the
Directly into the
phone.
phone. She's like, "It's Gideon. It's the guy. You
He's the
should
killer.
listen."
I have other people here that will listen in. What was that? What was that? Oh, it was nothing. There was nothing there. I'm being very sneaky.
Like it's not even hand over the phone or anything. She just says it directly into the fucking receiver.
No. But he mentioned something to her that's confusing because he has a new puzzle for her. Do you remember the puzzle?
I don't remember this one.
Okay.
The more you have, the more you're bound to lose. Tell me something. Did your dogs mind you dressing them up like clowns? I think they did.
What?
He asks her a puzzle question. Do your dogs mind when you dress them up like clowns?
Yes! Right. Oh god, it was the clowns one already. Okay, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was later. No, you're right. This was the
Yeah.
clowns. Yes.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
she's like,
yeah.
what the fuck are you talking? Is that a puzzle? I don't know that puzzle by heart. Like every other puzzle in this movie. No, let me say it again so you get it for good, Brenna. Do your dogs mind when you dress them up as clowns?
Clowns. Are they funny? Do they make you laugh?
Is it a ha-ha clown?
And she's like, wait a minute. I do all those freaky fetish photos of my dogs and clowns that I put in big scrapbooks in my house.
That I
He's in
print
my
off.
house.
Oh no, he knows about my clown dog scrapbook.
And the FBI go, wait, ma'am, we're going to have to arrest you for having dog clown photos. That's illegal.
Why does she have a dog clown scrapbook? I don't even.
Wait, do you not
But-
have a dog clown scrapbook?
But-
I'm not actually at liberty to tell people
Yeah.
about that. It's a little too for our podcast. A little too.
Yeah, that's more like black market stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the black market dog content we can't traffic in.
So she's
Can't
like,
tell you about dog clowns. I'm
oh
sorry.
no, he knows about my dog clown scrapbook. He's in my house. Like Scream or something. Like there's a fucking
Mhm.
slasher in her house. And so that hard cuts to the SWAT like breaking down her fucking door, which is unlocked,
Mm-hmm.
and smashing her windows and throwing all of her shit on the floor.
Yep. Like going room to room, clear, just burning all over
Like
shit.
throwing flashbangs and shit in every room.
Oh
It's like what? And then they go up to the bedroom where he was sitting very creepily on her bed, looking at her dog scrapbook. And she walks in. She's like, "It's my dog clown scrapbook. I knew it."
And of course, is the eccentric genius that he is, this incredible puzzler who that can't be stopped by the FBI, has been sitting there grubbing his fingerprints with
All
no
over that
gloves all
scrapbook.
over the scrapbook and everything else in her room, and smoking to make sure that he gives them all of the DNA evidence they could ever possibly
Correct.
want, which he just leaves in an ashtray that he had brought with him because she doesn't smoke, right?
No, she doesn't. Yeah.
So did he just have this ashtray on him that it was very kind of him to smoke in her bed, but also use an ashtray that he brought with him? Like that was
Yeah. Well, he
pretty
didn't want to put holes in her sheets. That'd be.
good. I mean,
rude.
that's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah, that's rude. But okay, so I guess some time passes after that because they move her to another house with her boss. It's her boss.
Yeah, she moves in
Yeah.
with her boss for a
Yeah,
little
to be like,
while.
well, that creepy guy knows where I live, so I better fucking get out of there.
Her boss, who
Fair.
she absolutely doesn't want to bone.
Who's also recently divorced.
and has the biggest divorced guy energy. Holy
Biggest
shit.
divorce guy energy ever. Yes.
Yeah.
And the next day, I guess, or some time later, there's another kid that gets abducted. So the FBI, knowing full well that this is a case that is completely separate from the previous one, in a way, immediately call her
Also
in.
that she's involved as a victim of this man.
She's
that
a
he is
victim,
chasing
yeah.
her down. That he has specifically targeted her multiple times, and they're using her as bait. They call her in to work the case again. The thing that you
Correct.
do if somebody is, being targeted by him. That's
This
the
way
smart
they can
thing.
protect her by doing literally nothing and putting her in danger. The most logical way to do that, really. So they go into the woods because it's free to shoot in the woods,
Yeah.
and they're
'Cause
tracking Gideon down.
They're tracking him down again. Yeah. She's
Yep.
one of the dog teams there, and they're like, we need to make sure that she has a police escort. You, one portly out of shape officer who can't keep up with her. Like, they keep on making this thing of him,
Mhm.
like, falling way behind and being like, oh, I can't take this shit. And he's, like, hardly paying attention and everything. And they're like, all right, you'll protect her, I guess. I don't know, maybe. Which he promptly just ignores and kind of stumble fucks his way around the woods until they go like, wait a minute, this kid is different than the others, and he's like it's a 6-year-old and he's a boy. It's not like the other. He's been tracking 5-year-old girls, so that's weird. And now we found
that kid was found at the house, totally fine.
Yeah. So then they find him. It wasn't at the house. It was somewhere else. They find him somewhere else. I think it was like up the hill or something. And they're like, oh, he's been found. He's totally fine. And it's like, well, my dog's on the trail of something though. He was leading trails all over the place, false trails. And the dog runs up to a bike, and my speed predictions come true as you hear beep, 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 beep,
It's
beep.
okay. It took me a second. I'm like, no, is that a bomb?
Yeah, the dog unfortunately had under 20 pets an hour, and because it dropped below 20 pets an hour, they blow the dog up.
They blew the dog up with a fucking bomb.
They plant a bomb on a bike. Which, why is the bike there? What did the bike have to do with
I
it?
don't know.
Because
I
it's
think
not
the
the
bike
kid's
just
bike.
had. Well, I think the bike was just to carry the smell. There was an object to leave. It could have been anything.
I guess, but it wasn't the kid's bike though. It was like an adult bike.
I think
be for, like, a 5-year-old. It was like a
technically Gideon was
mountain bike.
tracking, or Gideon was being tracked, not the kid, right? I don't fucking know. Who cares?
Maybe?
The dog blew up.
The
Million
dog
pieces.
fucking blows up. They blow the dog up. They
They
blow up
fucking
the
blow the
dog.
dog up. What the fuck?
And you called, at this point, you had called something that really sucked, which is that she had a non-search and rescue dog also, who she treats like shit.
Yeah, she treats it like shit. That dog is always off screen slightly and out of the story.
Yeah, and every time that she's like, "Oh, you're so badly behaved. It's not like I'm a dog trainer or something, and that would be my fault. You shouldn't do this stuff, Feather. Bad dog, Feather."
Yeah.
And you said when he sent her Feather in your cap at one point, and you were like, "Oh, is he gonna kill Feather?" You were wrong about that, but you were right that you were like, she's got 2 dogs because one of the dogs gonna die and the other dog's gonna have to get revenge, right?
Correct. Yeah, it's a
Finish-
revenge
finish the
story.
Mystery.
This is
It's
literally
the
like
best
they
served
gave
cold, boys.
Revenge. It's revenge. Revenge is a dish best served cold.
This is like in a film when, man, is Feather just John Wick?
Yes, yeah,
and
no,
they killed her dog. Like
Feather has to go back to the old ways. Feather has to go back to the old her.
I think that is it, though. Technically, like, and it makes sense with what happens.
It is with the way the rest of the film unfolds. It sure does.
So, like, after the dog explodes, fuck. We cut back to Brenna, who's just moping for days. about her dog being dead and yelling at this other dog because her dog's dead.
She's so mean to this other dog. I feel real bad about it. It
Yep.
sucks.
And then her boyfriend, not boyfriend, boss shows
God, that
up
dynamic sucks.
and he's like, no, don't worry about it. It's not your fault. That dog knew what they were doing when they signed up for the Force. They chose that life. They knew the risks.
He totally does.
What?
I forgot that. There's so many things in this that I forgot because it's full of all of those tropes, but all in the weirdest ways.
What?
Bree would have given up her life knowing that it was for the Force.
That dog signed a contract and knew the terms.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? What are you talking about?
So she decides to train the other dog to be a search and rescue dog so that they can get vengeance on Gideon.
Right, because the FBI keeps harassing her to get involved with the case. After her dog explodes.
After her dog explodes, and she was like, no, it's a sign that I'm not supposed to get involved in the case. I fucked with Gideon, and Gideon fucked me back. Wait, that sounds bad. But
Right. Yeah, no, but it's
And-
true. It's true.
yeah, no, but
And-
yeah. And again, the FBI did nothing to protect her in any way. Like,
No, instead of protecting her, they come back with more dick pic email puzzles. And they're like, hey, he sent more of these. I thought you'd like them.
we can't understand any of these puzzles. What's best served cold? We don't know. There's so
We don't
many
know.
things. Like most vegetables, like celery, ants on a log isn't good hot. Maybe it's ants on a log. I don't understand. These puzzles are so hard.
He sent an email that said he stuck a feather in his cap, just like macaroni. Called him macaroni. That was it. Is there
It's the
macaroni in the
macaroni
fridge?
puzzle map.
My
Yeah.
God, look. Like, no, fuck, no.
He did a
These are the
macaroni map
dumbest-
and put it on the fridge to show where he hid the death chamber for the next child.
These are the dumbest puzzles. Everybody knows these puzzles.
So they start getting more into. She starts looking at his backstory.
Right, because now she's
He's-
super involved with the case, and she's the only one who can solve it.
Apparently,
Even though she explicitly says, I got too involved with the case, I am a search and rescue volunteer, not a fucking private investigator.
even though she is in fact a private investigator because she works for the private investigator guy and is not.
Also, what? Yeah, what? None of this makes
Even
sense.
though she's also actually a private investigator, so but don't worry about that. Anyway,
Yeah.
she trains her dog up and also starts doing research on him and finds that he's a gamer but also a priest, and he lost his daughter at
Yeah.
the age of judgment, and Gideon
He's-
means judge. So
he works at a church as a father, and also as a game developer. For a
father
company-
gamer.
No,
His
for a
father
company
gamer.
that made a game named Dread Masters,
Well, you
which
see,
is definitely a shooter.
all the kids are doing Dread Masters these days. They cut it with their RAM and they snort it up their noses. This
Yes.
is like as Ice-T in the
Yes.
background, like, yeah, no, I've heard of Death Masters. Like,
Like-
it has supreme Law and Order SVU
Like,
energy this whole time.
Dread Masters is definitely a Doom clone.
So
It's a
good.
Doom clone.
So good.
Man, and so she finds that out.
So
She finds out that all the kids were the same age, so the age is important, which is the age of judgment. Ooh. And
And it was because
and-
he lost his kid at 4 or something, right?
yeah, it was 5
So he's
something.
killing
It was
other-
an age.
Or
So
fi-
he's,
at 5,
he's
I think.
killing.
Yeah, I think you're right.
He's doing this as revenge for kids that when they reach the same age as his kid, when his kid died, as revenge for those people. But the people
What's the
all have something in
revenge?
common because the people are all employees for the video game company that he worked for before he became a priest. right? So the video game company,
Is that what the connection was? I missed that. They were
his
going in such weird ways here.
his co-founder for the video game company
Mhm.
stole his idea for his Doom clone. So then he got into legal battles. This is all terribly boring. To to try and get his rights back, and he lost that case. And then coincidentally, his kid died for some reason. So he's taking revenge on the workers and the founder and the lawyer that lost the case for him from that video game company by keeping notes of all of their kids and when they reach 5 and then taking that opportunity to kidnap them
Also, they all turn 5 about a week apart, which
at
is
the
really
same
interesting.
day. The same
Like,
fucking week.
this-
Yeah.
The time period in this is over like a month at most, right?
At most, it might even be less. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's all during the same season, for
Yes.
sure.
Yeah.
So
Oh my god. Anyway, okay, I kind of glossed over all that because it was so jargony garbage that didn't make sense
the
that I just
important thing
kind of
is he's mad about video games.
yeah, yo.
Right. So at this point, the FBI's like, wow, you solved the murderer. We know who he is. You should talk to him on email again and keep goading him on so he kills you.
Are you gonna put a FBI tail on me to protect me? Why would we do that?
Get back to that email.
I don't understand. Write the email.
Yeah, so then she goes back to her email and starts goading him on to kill her.
With no protection or anything, because why would you need to do that?
Why?
Well,
And at
to
the same
lure 'em
time,
out, obviously.
she's teaching Feather to become a search and rescue dog.
Mhm.
To follow in the footsteps of Bree, her other dog that definitely blew up by a bomb from her own incompetence.
Yeah, to follow the footsteps that were there, and some of them were over there, and some of them were
So
over
that
there.
so that Feather can also
She
get
was in a
blown
lot of
up by a bomb. Yeah.
Well, then he can stick it in his cap finally. All
Yeah.
right, so they get another call, and it was like, oh, we have one last bridge to cross, which, like I said, the kid's under the bridge.
It's not that hard.
The kid's under the bridge.
Yeah,
He
so
said bridge. It
all
just
of the
means
FBI
bridge.
agents, all the cops, 5 search and rescue dog teams all show up on this bridge, and they all overlook the bright orange. Like,
Yeah, it's just like bright orange safety rope. Even it's not
It's
like
a
he's like
safety
tied it
rope
up by like fishing line or
with
something.
like
It's like
reflectors on it, so you can see it
Yes.
with a light. And they
Yes.
all overlook this. That's right behind them.
Yeah, it's hanging underneath the bridge. It's holding. He kidnaps the girl by giving her a bunny, and then he
Yeah.
locks her in a blue barrel, like a blue plastic barrel
air
with an
tank.
oxygen tank
Yeah.
in the river underneath this bridge, still holding the bunny. Which
Well, she can keep the
for
bunny.
some reason
Yeah.
just like, oh,
Yeah.
you mean you need to keep the bunny.
It's a cute bunny. You
The
can't
bunny
give the
gets a lot of
bunny.
pets. It's a very cute bunny. That little girl
Bunny-
really liked having that bunny. You know what? Actually, the more that I think about it, what do you think the odds are that the actress was like, well, no, but I want the bunny. You give
Oh,
me
the kid
bunny."
was
And then
like, I'm not gonna. If you do not give me this bunny during the scene, I
he's
will have a
probably crying,
tantrum."
yeah, like because
Yeah.
the kid's like 6 or whatever.
That's probably what it was. But okay, but all the search and rescue teams are there on the bridge, and the cops are barking orders, and Brenda shows up with Feather. She's like, all the cops are going to go that way, but that means Gideon's going the other way, so I'm going to go that way instead. What?
Which, yeah, and she says, well, more than that, she leans down to Feather and she goes, okay, Feather, I know that you're following the trail of the smell, but remember, if there's a smell that way, that means that Gideon wants you to go that way. So really, you should go the other way. Okay, Feather, you can understand me. So, as you
Ignore the
since
smell
I
like
taught
I
you
trained you.
English, since I taught you
Yeah.
English and you now understand that, don't follow the smell like I trained you. Follow the not smell and find
Mhm.
the kid.
And
So
of
they
course,
follow the not smell.
they follow the not smell and just wander around aimlessly in the woods, and they find Gideon
Like you would, yeah, of course.
immediately.
And
And
he goes,
Gideon
"Oh,
pulls
I
out a
thought that I
gun.
was good enough to get away."
Yeah, I thought, I never suspected 2 dogs. I'll have to take that into account with my next puzzle.
And her and Gideon both quick draw on each other
Yeah,
because
they
now
both-
apparently she's
'cause now-
fucking packing.
Because Gideon grabs a gun, she pulls out a gun, Feather pulls out a gun.
Yeah. And and he goes and he's like, "Aha! Well, you didn't expect this." And Feather turns the gun slowly from Gideon over to
Oh
Bree,
my
and it's like,
God.
"Oh no, God! It's a betrayal."
And then Gideon's like, no, don't worry. I did my research online. I Googled it. Search dogs don't attack.
Yeah, because she goes, "Bree, the Feather will attack you," and he's like, "No, they don't. They don't attack. Also, you have a gun on me, so I'm not sure why the dog is a threat." Because there's a gun on
Now
me.
put your gun down or I'll shoot the dog. And you know I'll kill dogs because I've done it before. Riddle me this, Batman.
And she immediately just puts the gun down because that's what you do. If a man has a gun on you and
Yep.
he's known to kill people, if you lay down your only defense, that means that he'll absolutely feel bad and let you go.
And you know what this did? It gave him 2 guns. Now he has
gave
2
him-
guns.
And he
Good
had 2
job,
guns,
Greta. Great job.
which having 2 guns made him vulnerable because then he couldn't catch himself as Feather runs and fucking drop kicks him at high
Right,
speed
right.
off of a cliff.
Because Brenna's holding a rave stick.
Yes, it's like just a glow stick. It's like a little chemical
It's a glow stick. Yeah. She
I thought it was
breaks
going to
the
be
glow stick.
clever or something for a
No!
second, but she
She-
pulls it out really
She pulls
subtly
out
and
a
like
glow
hides
stick
it
and then
behind her.
subtly like cracks it twice so it opens the chemical reaction from behind her back.
And I'm like, okay, where's this going? Is she going to like
And then-
do some trick on him?
Yeah.
Explain
She
the
just-
trick, Boix. What's the trick?
She just throws the glow stick at him. He's like, "Oh God, a glow stick!" And then Feather takes that opportunity to jump at him, drop kick him off of a fucking cliff, and then break his neck.
Distraction.
She just threw a
Like-
distraction stick. That's all it
all
was.
she could have done. She could have done the same thing by going boo and making him startle. Like it's just,
Yeah, like holy shit, holy shit.
if I throw this at him, he won't shoot me. Instead, he'll get startled, and then my dog will fucking drop kick him off the cliff that he's standing conveniently next to.
Man, okay, so they get to the body of Gideon that they've now murdered.
If I had a gun right now and he were here, I would kill him. I would not hesitate.
I don't believe that. I know you too well.
Oh, do you?
The most like anticlimactic ending to this villain
Yeah,
possible.
And,
Holy
and she's
shit!
like,
I couldn't believe they did it.
It's so bad. And then she's like, shit. I don't know where the kid is. Oh fuck. Oh shit.
Mhm.
Feather, smell him. Where was he at? Where'd he go? Where did he
Under a
come
bri-
from?
Oh man,
Cotton Eye
Bridge to Cross, Bridge to
Joe.
Cross. What could that mean? What could Bridge to Cross mean? Tell me the riddle, Feather.
Yeah, and then Feather's like, his pants are wet. I think he was in the river. The river? Like the one that's under the bridge? My God.
A bridge to cross. The riddle is the bridge. Ah. So
Well,
they run to the bridge.
So then they go back and they burn the bridge because burning the bridge before you cross is how you solve. That's the riddle.
Sure.
Or they just find the barrel and pull it out and everything's fine, I guess, because they finally notice the neon orange safety fucking rope.
God.
Idiots.
With the clue of the bridge to cross. It's under the bridge. Guys, it's under the... I'm trying to make this really obvious. I don't actually want to kill any of these children. It's under the bridge. Please rescue this child
Please
before she
save
dies.
them. Yeah.
I'm not actually trying to kill them. I'm giving you the most obvious riddles possible, and you fucking idiots can't find them. I'm just trying to scare these people. I want to win my court case about my video game.
It's about video games. You don't understand.
It's not about... I'm not really a child murderer. I just want to do cool video game puzzles.
And now he's dead. And now he's
and now
dead.
he's suddenly dead. And then
He's
they
fucking
killed him.
dead.
They killed him for his video
They
game
fucking
puzzles.
killed him
It's-
for video game puzzle. Right? So we'll never get
He's a
another
gamer.
Sierra
The
hint
sentence,
book.
death.
Death. Judge, jury, and executioner. Feather. Holy shit. So they save the kid. They go back home.
Feather has a higher
office.
kill count than the actual serial killer in this movie.
That's true.
We talked about that too. The scent of murder was Feather.
It was
Feather had the
Feather
scent of murder the
murdered
whole
a guy.
time because she's the
Yeah.
only murderer in the film.
Yep. Oh man. But they go back home /office/home. Whatever the hell this place is that this guy works at. And they're standing at the door, and it's the private investigator, boss, boyfriend, not boyfriend, and Brenna. And she's like, wow, I can't believe that whole case of murder was solved by me just killing the guy in cold blood. Yeah, that was real hot. Oh, you want to see hot, huh? We'll have sex later. Oh, will we? Ha 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 ha.
Credits.
And then it ends.
I forgot that we didn't mention the very, very, very stupid scene of when she was depressed and yelling at her dog for not being
Oh,
a good enough search and rescue dog. And he comes over and he's like, listen, I know it's really hard right now because you've been puzzled so bad, but it'll get better. And she goes, I hate you. I hate working with you. This sucks. You're a miserable person and I don't want you to be around me anymore. You've got horrible divorce guy energy. And then she grabs him and kisses him. And then she goes, get the fuck out of my house.
Get the
And
fuck out of here. I hate you.
it's literally she gives him she French kisses him. And then literally the
What?
next thing she does is say, get the fuck out of my house. And I am not kidding.
It's the most like, what the fuck moment. What
It's
the fuck?
They're trying to do like this film noir will they won't they thing, but it's
Right,
the most
but there's no chemistry or any moment that says that they like each other in any capacity.
and there's nothing likable about either of the characters.
No.
And also that the moment of this being the reason that she would like kiss him and stuff is just why
It was
this? Why
completely
now?
ill-placed when she's grieving for her blown up dog.
Yeah, like she's in a really bad mental state. So the first thing they make her do is start fucking macking on her boss in a really weird way while she's at her lowest point and she's yelling at him and he's being a jerk. And it just
Man, the HR department for this place is gonna have a field day.
God.
Yeah.
Is the HR department his mom because he lives in his office is in the house?
It
Does
has
he
to
live
be.
upstairs? I think it
has
must
to
be.
Yeah.
God, this office home fucking rules. You've heard of home offices. Have you heard of office home? 'Cause, like,
They're not even trying to hide the fact. They just had a place to shoot and they're like, it's an office now. Whatever.
whatever. Yeah, no, this is an office. It's got like a door and everything. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Anyway. And that's
That's Scent of Murder.
Murder.
What a piece.
I really liked this movie. I really liked this movie. Not for any good reasons, but I really liked this movie. This movie is I found this movie to be a treat.
I think this movie was supposed to be like, hey, search and rescue teams and search and rescue dogs are cool.
It
And
felt like
I didn't
propaganda
come
for
across
search and
with that
rescue.
message at all after watching this.
No. It feels like it's kind of like she's like a loose cannon cop that can do what she wants and breaks all the rules.
Uh-huh.
But and like they're trying to make her cool like that, but they're trying to do it about search and rescue dog volunteer teams.
Yeah, but it's like, why? That doesn't match. That's apples and oranges, and it's like, what?
She even says, oh God, I forgot. She even says at one point, she goes, I broke the rule. Search and rescue people are supposed to find victims, not the murderers, and I did the wrong thing when her dog blows up. And then she immediately goes back to doing that.
Are they trying to do like a Jessica Fletcher Murder, She Wrote, like author, but now I'm in the case? She's a search and rescue dog, like trainer? Like
Maybe, because she also has an origin story about how she was a school teacher for
She was a
English,
teacher.
but
Yeah.
then one of her kids gets murdered, and so she decides that she wants to be a search and rescue person instead to find revengeance
Yeah,
against
because she also has a revenge
search and rescuer
story.
murderers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's God, this whole movie is so baffling and I love it. It's got like it is literally like there is a big speed like feeling behind it with the way
Yeah.
that they set up the villain. He feels so much like the speed guy. And at the same time they have like almost like a Hannibal Lecter Riddler thing going on with him where they're like, oh, we got to get into his head. He's such a mastermind. And they're doing all of this stuff. And they have like the gamer stuff and all of the reasoning behind that feels like a really bad Law and Order episode. You know,
I
the
don't
way
know
that
what
they
they were
talk
trying
about
to do
that.
with that because it
Like,
wasn't important.
no, not at
It
all.
really wasn't. Yeah.
It really doesn't matter. It doesn't lead them to anybody because like it's not like they then go like, oh, that means that he's going to be kidnapping this person's daughter next because they're the next person that has a 5-year-old. They just get a call that there's a missing kid and they go there. So it doesn't
Yeah.
solve anything. It doesn't have anything to do with she doesn't like confront him about it. It's so irrelevant. It has absolutely nothing to do with the rest of the movie. It's such a baffling film and I love it for it. It's such a nonsense movie. I fucking love this thing. So it is equal parts like 15 different bad franchises and it just mashes them all together. Like it's got like a little bit of, like you said, like the Murder She Wrote thing because she's like this weird private detective who gets involved when she's not supposed to. And it's got like a little bit of, like I said, Speed and Law and Order and like film noir. Oh, he's a private detective guy because of her boss and like his thing, and all of his like divorced dad energy is super film noir, like where he's
It
like,
is,
ah,
yeah.
dames are just trouble. Like he has like little side conversations with the schlubby cop that follows her in the woods and does nothing and lets her dog blow up, where you know he's like, women kind of thing. So he's doing that whole thing. He's like, you know how these dames are, and it's just it's so good. It's such a pastiche of a million different things that just do not work together. And it's all wrapped around dogs because why not? I don't know.
The director for this is the director of a bunch of like B-movie horror schlock. Apparently.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to see some of their B-movie horror schlock because it seems like it would be earnest and terrible in exactly the right ways that you want B-movie horror schlock to be.
They made a movie called Hemoglobin, aka Bleeders.
Oh my god. Yeah, like exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that sounds so good. I'm gonna have to watch this person's repertoire. Who is the director of this? What's their name? Let's give them a shout out.
This is Peter Svatek.
Peter Svatek. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why we were reading it in we had the Croatian subtitles or whatever.
Could be, yeah. I almost feel like this is a like a Trolls 2 situation or something, but it's not an Italian movie.
No, it's also, I would say that it's competently shot and acted, kind of. Like, I mean, like, it's not super competent.
There's points where it's
not
like so straightforward, it's kind of boring. Yeah.
Yes. But it's also like it's not like wildly incompetent in terms of like budget and cinematography stuff. It's more just the plot stuff. That's like the writing and the characters and the plot are super wild, but like the actual filming of it, like when they have like the cut to the SWAT team and stuff, like they break that fucking door down and things like it. They've got a few things in there. And like when they're wearing FBI outfits and stuff like that, like they look like they're wearing FBI outfits and the cops look like cops. And do you know what I mean? Like they have like police vehicles. They've got some amount of budget and the cinematography is nothing stellar or anything, but it's also like people are properly mic'd. You can always hear people. People are well in frame. There's no like boom mics falling into frame like we have in some really bad ones and stuff like that. There's no like terrible shaky cam. Like it's all competently shot.
It's also the writer of the Lois and Clark TV series, which which might add some context.
That adds a lot of context, actually. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
okay.
Which is Dan Levine.
Wow, what a super team.
Yeah,
But
great.
Let's rate the dogs.
Yeah, so we got Bree, a German Shepherd, who is
Mhm.
very good at search and rescue. Loves a good pet. Gets pet a lot
Yep.
in this film, up until about the halfway point of the movie, which is not Bree's fault.
No, I feel like
Yeah.
you know, I feel like Bree is going to be a really popular dog on our podcast. I think that she's blowing up on social media and probably like
Yeah, no, I
she's
agree. Yeah.
she's got a very problem is she's got a bit of an explosive personality, a little bit of a temper.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. Yeah.
I'd probably rate her like 15 out of 10. I think that she's probably in about that many pieces, right?
I think I'd only go with 13 out of 10. I'd
Oh,
have to
okay.
review the footage, but all right, second dog, Feather, who's like a collie, kind of sheepdog,
Kind of, yeah, some kind of collie mutt, yeah,
yeah.
like some sheepdog. Yeah.
Feather does not get the respect that Feather deserves.
No,
Feather's a
no,
good girl.
Feather.
Feather does a murder.
Feather
Yeah.
politely requests that she feed the other dog in the house, even
though
after
it's
the other
gone,
dog is
yeah.
blown up, which
Yeah.
was really tragic and sad and horrible. And that was a scene that we needed in this movie.
Definitely needed that. Yeah.
Mhm.
I would give Feather a. I would go with a flying kick from the top rope out of 10.
I would have to give Feather a Yankee Doodle Dandy out of 10.
No, that's
because
a good rating. Yeah.
You'll always put one in your cap, as we all know. What was that riddle for? Anyways, they never they don't explain Feather in your cap, do they?
They don't fucking explain
I don't think they,
anything.
because that was just the Riddler flirting back and forth
They might
messages.
as well have just sent a fucking email that said mice crispy bars. Like, I don't know what the fuck that means.
Because it didn't matter. They never
What does that
solved that
mean?
riddle. It doesn't mean anything.
It's like sending the answer to a riddle without the question. I don't know what the fuck that means. What?
Yeah, he just sent their Feather in your cap, and they sent back bloodhounds never forget. And it's like, wait, what? What is this conversation? And the receptionist the whole time is like, wow, this is so fucking hot.
It's so hot. I love riddles. She thinks she was talking to Leighton? What the fuck is happening here? Was there a fucking Carmen Sandiego on the other side of the line?
I love this
What is
movie.
what is her type? Fuck.
All right. Thank you for listening to Rough Cuts. If you like the podcast, we really appreciate the people that stop in. You can check us out on Twitter. We are at Rough Cuts Cast. You can find a whole bunch of little clips and stuff that we put up there. We try and have moments from our viewing and GIFs and things from the videos because there's some real good stuff in them when we can't find them. And you can send us in any requests that you have for movies or anything else that you want to send to us. We have an email. It's roughcutscast@gmail.com. Other than that, we'll be back next week with another episode. We're going to be doing something special soon for 100. It's coming up fast. We're like episode 94?
That's correct. We ran a poll of which terrible movies you want us to watch for a special occasion. And one of them won. So, great.
We'll be doing that one.
Yeah, whoo.
Yeah. It's closing in on us, like dusk or something. Like we're like nearing the evening of episode 100. The
We're getting
dusk of it,
close
something like
to
that. The nightfall of 100. What would we call that?
Something like that. It's not dawn. We haven't broke that yet.
No. Well,
so
anyway, I guess you'll find out for episode 100.
Yeah.
Thanks for stopping in, everybody.
Speaking of movies, I gotta call up Animal Planet. I got an idea for a film about a dog with a gun that shoots a guy.
Hold on. I'm gonna ask you
Sure.
again. When did you get the? Sorry, show me the book again.
The Big Book of Laugh Out Loud Jokes for Kids, a 3-in-1 collection.
Yes. When did you get that, and why? I should have been
Alright.
recording this.
It's because Nick was talking about, kids' joke books like 4 or 5 years ago, because he was trying to come up with jokes for his niece and nephew so that he could tell them. So then I'm like, "Yo, joke books? That'll be great on stream. I'm gonna buy that joke book." And then I read it, and it was the most depressing fucking book I've ever read. This book sucks so much.
The reason why I'm asking you this too is because about 3 or 4 years ago, I went and got a copy. I did I download it or just got of the Big Book
Yeah.
of Minecraft riddles and jokes,
Oh,
so
yeah,
that I could
yeah.
read the bad Minecraft because I had the same idea. They're really bad.
Yeah,
We're on the
yeah.
same wavelength.
Very good, very good.
All right.